Welcome back. We're talking about notes, solving proportions. Importantly, if two fractions are equal, and that's a very, very important thing, if two fractions are equal. The reason that we're learning this now is because we have never done a question that looks like this. We have never done a question where fraction equals fraction. We've done some stuff with fraction plus normal number equals a fraction, but we've never done an absolutely two fractions are equal. Fraction equals fraction. So, if we're there, we use the word proportional, okay, which isn't that important. It's just the vocab word, right? I mean, you see at the top, proportions. It's the same thing as proportional, right? I mean, you can see here, today, Thursday, it says proportions. So it's just a little vocab word. Don't worry about it too much. What is important is that if you have fraction equals fraction, we're going to cross multiply. This is something that you've seen way, way back when you first were learning about fractions. Okay? This is something that you likely did, recently in middle school and way long ago in middle school. Cross multiply is when you multiply diagonally, and it kind of makes an X. So we're going to multiply like this, and we're going to multiply like this. Now, another way teachers teach this sometimes is teachers talk about it, and they call it the butterfly. Now, I'll tell you why they call it butterfly, because math teachers are really bad drawers most of the time. When I look at this, if I circle these diagonally, I really don't think that looks very much like a butterfly. Well, look. I know it's the wings. I get it. But I'm not convinced that it's a very good butterfly. So when I say cross multiply, it's the butterfly method. If you like the butterfly method, go for it. To me, it's just a cross multiply, right? So I'm not going to draw these circles. I'm just going to use the arrows. We're multiplying diagonally. I like cross multiply because it reminds us that we need to multiply. And pretty much the only step that we are going to have any new material on is just a step where we kind of think about multiplying things diagonally. The first one, 2 times 12.
24.
What is 2 times 12? He says it, 24. We're doing it, guys. We're cross multiplying. That's it. On the orange arrow, what is x times 3?
3x.
3x. And now, proportions are done, fractions are done. Everything we have left is from the first or second week.
That's so easy.
How do we finish this?
Divide by 3.
Finish it with divide. So, finishing with divide, we're going to have x equals 24 divided by 3 is 8. We got pencils. We're doing some writing. Well, here you go. Pencils up here. You'll have to use your own sharpener. Come on. All right, moving on to number 2. It does not get more complicated. That's it, right? Diagonally multiply these two things. And diagonally multiply these two things. What is 4x times 5?
20.
You're correct. One of my big recommendations is don't forget your equal sign. A lot of times people get a little messy, they get a little twisted around, and it's the equal sign that they're missing. What's the orange multiply going to make? 20. All right, now the fractions are gone, the proportions are gone, the cross multiplyings are gone. It's a question from the first week of school, okay? I know our x is on the right, but if we just divide both sides by 20, that's going to isolate our x. We haven't really been doing it like this year, but you know what? It's okay. divided by 20. That's going to cross these out. X. And what is, here's just a little math thing. What's 20 divided by 20?
1.
It is 1, right? If you have $20 and 20 friends, and you're going to split up your money, you're going to give everybody $1. If you want to put 20 soccer balls in 20 piles, it's going to be one ball in a pile, which is kind of boring. Just means spread them out. Okay, now, that stuff is so easy. We're not getting any more difficult, but we do see something that just is a little bit different.
Oh, it's more steps.
We've seen this before. We have a little two-parter, right? We've got a 2x minus 1. Here is the only writing that I think you need to do all day. Here's a quick little tip that is going to help you be ready for this. So, here's what we're going to write. If you see a piece with 2 parts, if you see a piece with 2 parts, that's a big deal. If you see a piece with 2 parts, pay attention to it. What are we going to do?
I don't know.
Put parentheses on it. Okay. Really simply, if you see a piece that has 2 parts, like this bottom left, slap a pair of parentheses on there, and once you do that, you will understand what we're going to do. You will get it, okay? So, for this question, I see that this bottom left has 2 parts. I'm putting parentheses on there. Now, I'm going to draw my arrows diagonally, nice, diagonally, nice. And when I draw my arrows like this, and I'm doing cross multiply, and I need to multiply these things, the yellow is definitely going to be easier for this question. What is 3 and 10 multiplied together?
30.
30, of course. And here's a part that's going to be a tiny bit harder. The orange side has the piece with parentheses. If we are multiplying and we have those parentheses, what do we do when we have multiplication and those parentheses? Starts with the letter D.
Distribute.
Nice. So we're going to be distributing. So, distributing what is a good question. We're going to have our 2x minus 1, and what are we going to distribute?
With 6.
The 6, right? The 6 times 2x minus 1. So we're going to put the 6 out front, right? Whatever that solo number is, just put it in front of the parentheses, and you'll be good, okay? Now, this very first step, this very first step here, all of a sudden, the proportions are gone, the fractions are gone, and we are on the second week of school, and we are chilling, solving this equation, right? We're going to do a little bit of distributing, but we've done this many times. Line down our equal sign, 6 times 2x, that's 12x. 6 times negative 1, that's negative 6. And the 30 just stays a 30. Again, we've been here, we've done this. The work yesterday was so much harder than this, right? We're on the second week of school here. We're doing plus 6, plus 6. Those 6's are opposites. They're going to go away. Anybody know 30 plus 6?
36.
Of course. Easy. Here's one that's maybe a little bit harder. We need to divide both sides by 12. Does anybody know what 36 divided by 12 is? 3, that's right. 36 is 3 dozen. How about that for quick maths? So, pretty much what I think is the only thing that you really, that's not common sense today is this part right here. If you see a piece with 2 parts, put parentheses on it. And if you raise your hand and you say, Mr. Collier, I don't know what to do, I'm going to say, do you see a piece with 2 parts? Put parentheses on it. So, starting this next question, do you see any pieces with 2 parts? Is it the top left, top right, bottom right? Top left, 2 parts, parentheses. Easy. Are there any more parts? Which parts? Top right, parentheses. Easy. Now, that's going to tell my brain that we're going to need to distribute and we're going to need to distribute. So we're going to have a little 2-parter, but it's, guys, again, comparing to the questions we were doing yesterday, we had double distribute and we had combining like terms and we had our x's disappearing. We had all kinds of crazy stuff. Today, just do a little setup, do a little distribute, go home. Easy peasy. So, does anybody want to help me write this next line? What do you think? You want to do the left side or the right side? The yellow or the orange? Yellow. Let's do the yellow side. What are we going to put first? The 7, and then, of course, what comes after that? Parentheses x plus 5. Perfect. You nailed it.
Yay.
The solo number comes first, the parentheses come after. Over here.
It's a minus sign.
Not for the yellow side, right? The yellow side is x plus 5 and a positive 7. You're right, on the orange side it is a negative, so don't forget that. 3 is my solo number, parentheses, and in the parentheses, get it right, 2x minus 5. Perfect. 2x minus 5. That fast? Without doing any math, all of the new stuff is gone, right? We didn't actually learn how to add new things, multiply new things. But all we knew how to do is just set up some fractions. So, now that we're here, perfect. Not sure how this happened, but awesome. One extra little piece of paper. I forgot the copier today. So now that we're here, can you finish this question? Right? Put that here. Can you do a little distributing? Can you distribute that 3? Can you distribute that 7? A little move, divide. All right, I'll get into it here. I'm going to distribute my 3. I'm going to distribute my 7. We can handle this. Line down my equal sign. For the left side and for the right side, I'll do the right side for you. 7 times x is 7x. 7 times 5 is 35. Help me out with the left side. What do we got?
6x minus 15.
6x minus 15. Very good. You guys are doing excellent today. Right? We're sticking to it. Moving on, we need to move, divide, and we'll be done. Move our letters left. 6 minus 7. If you got $6 and you spend $7,
Yep. Minus x.
you broke, my man. That's right.
Ow.
You in debt. What are we going to move next? The 15 plus 15 plus 15. All right, easy peasy. That's going to be 0. We're going to have negative 1x
Equals 50.
equals 50. And how do we finish every question?
Divide.
Divided by a negative 1. Wah, wah. Easy, easy.
X equals negative 50.
X equals negative 50. All right. That is the last question of the notes. Any issues?
No.
What do you say? Yeah, honestly, I'll just give you a whole copy of the whole notes already done.
Me too.
There you go. Look at this. Best teacher ever. Nicest teacher ever. Got all the things already figured out. Any issues? Any questions? If you see a piece with 2 parts, put parentheses on it. That's it. These ones at the top, we need to be getting these ones right in our sleep. These ones at the bottom, okay, I'll give it to you. Takes a little bit of thinking. Takes a little bit of work. Not too bad though.